Have you ever heard of an entire colony that simply vanished? No bodies, no signs of struggle, no explanation, just one word carved into a tree, CROATOAN. This isn't the plot of a horror film, it's a true historical event recorded in 1590 on Roanoke Island in what is now North Carolina. And to this day, over 4 centuries later, no one knows what really happened to the 115 colonists who lived there. But new clues have started to emerge: hidden maps, buried ruins, and never-before-seen artifacts. What archaeologists recently uncovered could change everything we thought we knew about this case. Stick with me until the end, because what we're about to reveal might shake you to your core. What was the Roanoke colony? It all began in 1587 when a group of 115 English settlers crossed the Atlantic in search of a new life in the Americas. Led by John White, they established a colony on Roanoke Island off the coast of what is now North Carolina. The mission was clear: build a lasting British presence in the New World under Queen Elizabeth I's rule. It was an ambitious plan full of hope, risk, and promise. But things quickly went wrong. Food shortages, disease, and conflicts with local tribes pushed the settlers to the edge. John White sailed back to England to gather supplies, a trip that was supposed to take a few months, but due to the Anglo-Spanish War, he couldn't return for 3 years. When he finally made it back to Roanoke, all he found was nothing. The entire colony was gone. Homes were dismantled, no bodies, no signs of violence, just a single word carved into a tree: CROATOAN. And so began one of the greatest mysteries in American history. But that was just the surface, because the deeper you dig, the stranger it gets. The word CROATOAN, a clue or a warning. The only thing left behind at Roanoke was this haunting word, CROATOAN, carved crudely into a tree near the settlement's entrance. John White recognized it immediately. CROATOAN was the name of a nearby island, and also the name of a native tribe that some of the colonists had previously interacted with. Was this a message, a cry for help, or a warning? Strangely, there were no signs of panic or destruction. The buildings had been taken apart carefully, as if the group left by choice or with enough time to prepare. But why? And where exactly did they go? If the intention was to move to CROATOAN Island, why was there no trace of them ever again? Some experts believe the word is the key to the entire puzzle. Others think it's part of something deeper, maybe even spiritual or ritualistic. But as archaeologists followed this clue, what they uncovered only made the story more disturbing. The first theories: massacre, starvation, organ, something more. In the years after the colony's disappearance, theories began to swirl. The first, a native massacre. Tensions with local tribes were high and retaliation seemed possible. But there was one problem: no bodies were found, no skeletons, no battle damage, just eerie silence. That alone didn't line up with a violent attack. Another theory was that the settlers died of starvation or disease and left in search of better land. But again, why wasn't a single group ever found in the nearby regions? Is it really possible for that many people to simply vanish from history without a single written word? That's when the more bizarre ideas started to take hold. Some claim the colonists were relocated by force, others point to the Spanish or to natural disasters, and some say the settlers fell victim to an unknown phenomenon, something that erased them from existence. Modern discoveries on Hatteras Island. In recent years, archaeologists have focused on a specific location, Hatteras Island, known in the 1500s as CROATOAN. Excavations there began uncovering startling evidence: English tools, European rings, and even weapon fragments, all dated to the late 16th century. To many, this is proof that at least some colonists survived and joined the Croatoan tribe. Scott Dawson, a lead archaeologist, revealed that we found literal buckets of hammer scale iron fragments from English blacksmithing right in the middle of Native American territory. This suggests the colonists didn't just visit, they lived and worked there, perhaps for years. But if they survived, why didn't they send word to England? Why did John White never find them? Were they hiding something, or was survival only possible through completely cutting ties with their past? John White Set Secret Map and Site X. For centuries, one of John White's maps lay preserved in the British Museum, but in 2012, researchers examined it under ultraviolet light and found something chilling, a hidden symbol painted in invisible ink, marking what appeared to be a secret fort roughly 50 miles west of Roanoke. That site is now called Site X. Located in modern-day Bertie County, North Carolina, Site X has since been excavated by the First Colony Foundation, and what they uncovered added fuel to the mystery: English pottery shards, weapon parts, and traces of early European structures, none of which were officially recorded. The theory, part of the colony split off and migrated inland in secret. But why was this mark hidden? Did John White know more than he revealed? And if so, why take it to the grave? The deeper this mystery goes, the more it refuses to be solved. Conspiracy theories and the CROATOAN effect. Beyond archaeology and history, Roanoke has inspired a realm of conspiracies and supernatural theories. Some believe the colonists were victims of secret experiments. Others think they were abducted by aliens, especially given how clean the disappearance was. No struggle, no evidence, just absence. Then there's the infamous CROATOAN effect. According to urban legend, this word has appeared in other bizarre disappearances. Edgar Allan Poe allegedly whispered it before his death. It was scribbled in Amelia Earhart's journal and found in cells of famous missing persons like Ambrose Bierce. Coincidence or a pattern? To believers in the paranormal, CROATOAN is more than a word. It's a portal, a code, a seal, maybe even a dimensional marker. It sounds crazy, but the more you try to explain this story, the more unexplainable it becomes. Why this mystery still matters today? Over 4 centuries have passed, and yet the Roanoke mystery still lives on in academic circles, in pop culture, and in the collective imagination. For archaeologists, it's one of the greatest unsolved puzzles of colonization. For historians, it's a reminder that history can vanish in a heartbeat, and for the public, it's an obsession. Books, documentaries, and shows like American Horror Story have kept the legend alive. But Roanoke also represents something deeper, a primal fear of disappearing without a trace, of losing identity, of slipping through reality's cracks. How does an entire group of people vanish without screams, graves, or goodbye letters? This story doesn't just intrigue us, it haunts us. And that's why researchers still dig, still search, still ask questions. Because until we have real answers, the mystery of Roanoke will stay wide open, waiting for someone brave enough to solve it. The story of Roanoke's lost colony isn't just a ghost tale in the history books. It's a riddle that still breathes in every dig site, in every theory, in every unsent letter. Maybe the colonists found a new home, maybe they were taken, or maybe they never existed the way we were told. But now the question is yours. What do you believe? Archaeological evidence points toward survival among the Croatoans. But the gaps, the hidden symbols, and the eerie patterns still echo like a whisper from the past. And until someone answers it, the word Croatoan remains carved, not in trees, but in the minds of all who dare to investigate. All sources are linked in the video description. You'll also find real photos of the artifacts uncovered. Comment below, what do you think happened to the Roanoke colony? And if this mystery shook you, subscribe to the channel because there's so much more that's still hidden.